Good afternoon. It's approaching 4 p.m. It's about 5 to 4. And we are heading up to 4 p.m. for our sway and stretch routine, which is the final hosted movement snack of the day. Crowbarring additional extra minutes in is totally optional from here on in. But if you're going to do it good. Do it good and proper. Achieve those movement minutes, maximise on those movements, those actual bits and pieces that are required to move during movements, believe it or not, to get the best out of whatever you're crowbarring in. I'm in a secret location today. So if you're just coming in on catch up, it's guess the location. Guess the location. Here's your clues. I'm going to repeat these again for when the lives start coming in. Captain Cook was born here. Paul Ince played here. Tanni Grey-Thompson is from here. It's no longer classed as Yorkshire. People round here are called Smoogies or Smoggies, and it's got a transporter bridge that's fairly famous. Now, out of all of them, I would get a big fat 0, but hopefully you're a bit more cleverer than I. And if you're not, Google is a wonderful thing. Have a look, find out where I am. Right, here I wait patiently for some movement snack company for this sway and stretch. And as if by magic, here's Maddie. Maddie's joined us, thank you, Dagenham, from me to you, from you to me. Did you see the welcome message? The welcome message had a few cryptic clues on there to see if you can guess my location. Vivian, Paul, did you see the welcome message? Where am I? We'll just let a few more people come in. And then if you didn't see the welcome message, or you're still pondering over where the devil I am at the moment, then I will repeat the content of that message and you can have another guess. As many guesses as you like. Afternoon, Ken. Afternoon, Mrs. Perry. Great to have you along for this 4 p.m. I managed to get my work done this morning, get on the motorway. I have gone oop north. George, I've got some clues as to my location. I am in a purple hotel. Similar, well, the same hotel, but not the same, if that makes sense, as Dave this morning. I believe he delivered his morning movement snack from a purple hotel. Right, there's a few of you here now. Ken's still pondering about these. Let me put a repeater onto these clues as to where I could be. Captain Cook was born here. The footballer, Paul Ince, he played here for a bit of time. Tanni Grey-Thompson, the wheelchair racer lady, lived here or something, is associated with here. It's no longer in Yorkshire. Hang on. And there's also quite a famous transporter bridge that is located here. You'll see it on a picture on my welcome message. Welcome message? That doesn't make sense. Right, well, what you've been doing, afternoon, Kelsey and everyone, got an idea with the football clue. Aha! You've been for a walk and nearly got blown away. George has answered the conundrum on the original post. Thank you, George. I was just talking George around, through any of those clues, I wouldn't have got anything. I wouldn't have been any closer as to thinking where I was. It's a good job I punched it into the sat-nav, to be honest. Else goodness knows where I would be. Any ideas? Answers on a postcard? Answers on a racing pigeon? Did you have to look any up though, George? Did you? Right, let me know when it's the 3, 2, 1 time. We've got our sway and stretch routine, which is just about finished, with one more add-on to do today. Nice and simple with the add-on. I think the hardest part is really the balance bit. If you're choosing that sweepy, circular type foot pattern movement within your sway, but that of course is completely optional. Of course, we've got our beloved stretches, and then you'll be off into your evening to do what the devil you like. Right, any more then. Just a few of us in, just a small but beautifully gathering of people on this sway routine. You got it from the bridge clue, yeah. Gillian with the G's just arrived as well. Hello, good afternoon. Right, I am just working the one day here where I am at the moment, and then I'll be off home and tackling the lovely Friday night traffic. Tomorrow, there's a bit of a shift change. I think Bex is picking up my 4 p.m. and I'll be picking up the 12 noon. But for now, we're on the 4 p.m. I'm going to call it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, as if by magic. George's 3, 2, 1 just came up at the bottom of the screen. Welcome. Today is Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton from Later Life Training. This is the 4 p.m. sway and stretch routine. One more add-on for the sway routine, and it'd be rude to start without a circulation boost. So we're going to do that now. Right, everyone. Think about where you would like to be, close to any external support, walls, tabletop levels, windowsills, anything that's fixed and firm, that's not going to move out from anywhere if you put your hands on it to steady yourself. The chair, a firm and steady, stable chair where you can take a bit of a lift and a shift hip walk, travelling forwards. So you're quite a bit away from the back of the chair, but sitting up tall, supporting your own posture with your own muscles. Let's start some foot pedals. Just the beginnings, a low level beginning of your warm up here. In standing, just shift the weight steadily from side to side, keeping the ball of the foot pressed into the floor, and your pace with all of these circulation boosting movements and even the sway routine is your own comfortable pace. You can start when you're ready to pick up the feet, so lifting the knees that little bit higher. You might want to have your support directly in front of you rather than have it to the side. It's up to you. I'm just going to turn and face the front. Arm swings. Let's have a think about bringing in an arm swing. You can bring both arms in at the same time, of course, but this will mean that you need to feel steady and confident without holding on. Alternatively, just have the one arm on the go and then change sides so that you're able to hold on to your external support to bring the other arm in. This is a movement from the shoulders. Keeping the shoulders lifted, back and down, driving the elbows back, and just keeping your arms quite close to your body so you've not got any kind of rotational twisting across the body type moves. It's just like we're on a proper good walk. We're walking like we mean it. We've probably climbed the stairs with vigour before. You might get your arms involved in when you're climbing the stairs and picking your knees up like so. But keep going. It's an awful long staircase, this one. And with the hips, you might get a bit of achiness in the hips. We might get a little bit of a sink-in posture, but just every now and again, just remind your posture where you'd like it to be. It kind of does go back into default mode some of the time, but the more frequent and often your posture reminders to yourself, the more we can relearn better to hold ourselves in a better position. All right, should be feeling a little bit more warmer than you did a couple of 3 minutes ago. Just bring that down to a stop. Settle the feet, have the feet a comfortable distance apart, especially in standing. Breathing has just come up a little bit. You're breathing perhaps a little more deeper, not particularly any much faster, but a little bit deeper. And there we have your circ boost. Right, into our sway routine. So seated or standing, the arm movements are exactly the same. I'm just going to move this camera slightly. I feel like my head's being cut off a little bit. Is that any better? Well, a tiny bit. We're going to start with our inward and then outward circle. Let's just do a couple on each side, inward and outward circle. Remember, the bigger the circle of the arm, the more movement and mobility you may feel you need around the shoulders. So keeping it low, one more on each side, is a good place to start, and then you can build up the size of this arm circle when you see fit. Let's have a go at putting those two together. So let's go. Well, I'm going to go right, left, and round and round. And then I'm going to do the same right, left. It doesn't matter if you're doing left, right. And now we're going to change on to the other side, leading with the left arm I am now. And then another one there. So we're going to do two on the same side on the trot in our routine. Right, the end arm positions, we're going to go in and out and round, and then reverse it back in, out and in, just cross the arms in front of you, and then do that again. Pushing up, crossing the arms, opening wide, and one more time. And that, just last few arm circles, completes our sway routine. Arms. We have legs. Legs are optional. You can have a shift and a transfer of weight in seated. Let's just shift and transfer the weight in standing. So we want to keep the knees soft, never coming to a locked leg position. Just stay loose and easy through those knees and just shift and transfer the weight. Now this could be what you do throughout your entire sway routine. If you would also like to, you could also draw the leg in and then step it out, shift the weight, and then repeat it on the other side. So you've got to feel that little bit more confident at holding your weight. You can hold on at this point, of course, if you want to keep the legs in. And there we go. Now in seated you can do that. So just have a shift. If you're in standing, just continue on with that little bit of practice there, just with legs on their own. Lift and step, shift, and coming back to the centre. Lift and step. That's if you want to bring that action into the legs. Okay, take a pause there. Here's how it goes from top to bottom. So stand tall, get ready. Think about which arm you're going to begin the circle with. So we're going to stand still through the legs. 1, 2. That same arm is going to go again, but this time we're going to do the leg movement as well. 1, 2, there's the step. And then here's a little shift and transfer of weight. Pause there. Opposite arm leads. 1, 2, with the circular motion. And then have a think of shifting the weight. 1, 2. And then keep shifting through. We're going to go out and cross the arms inwards. And we're going to go inwards and cross the arms in the middle before taking them out wide. And then one more time. And there we have the end of your sway routine. Let's take that from the top. So we've got a static still double arm and then one with a step. a static still double arm, and then a second one with the step if you'd like to put that in. Otherwise, just shifting and transferring the weight from one side to the other. Are we ready? Seated, up tall, standing, even taller. 1, 2, and then shift the weight. 1, 2, keep transferring the weight there. Just come back to the middle, have a pause, second arm, 1, 2, and then shift the weight, get ready, 1, 2, shift the weight, keep going, up, out to the side, round, cross and down, reverse that. This is our opening and closing, and this is the last one. And take a pause there. Lots of work through the arms and the shoulders there with those different movements. Okay, let's stretch the shoulders first. I'm going to sit down for all of my stretches, but feel free to remain in standing. Have your feet that little bit wider to broaden your base of support and increase your balance and your standing stability. Shoulders square to whatever direction you're facing. Let's just take the arm across the body, a slightly different stretch. So you're going across the body, hooking the arm underneath and just hugging the elbow into the body a little bit more. And you're going to feel that opens out all around the shoulder there. Try and keep your body in the middle just so that you're not twisting and turning your way around at the same time. It's just the arm reaching across with a little squeeze into your chest from there. Relax down. So sit tall once again, reach the arm across. Take hold of the back of the arm, ease it and squeeze it in towards your chest. Hold it there without twisting your body as well. Should feel that open out all around your shoulder there. Stretching into the muscles at the rear part of your shoulder. Relax there. A really important muscle group to stretch is the chest. Here in seated, you can reach towards the back of your chair. Try not to go too high up the back though. Hold your hands quite low, squeeze the shoulder blades back, put in an extra pinch there between your shoulder blades. And you can, if you want to, just start to lean it forwards a little bit. So rather than being completely upright, there's just a slight tilt there from your hips. Pinning the shoulder blades back, really opening into the chest there. Try and sit your head up as high as it can sit on top of your neck, just so that we're not hunching or crunching down. Let's lift everything up and open it all out. Great for posture and any task that requires you to get your hands round towards your back. Relax there. Okay, let's have a look at our upper side stretch. So we'll do all of our top half stretches first. So feet planted on the ground, hand on your shoulder or towards the shoulder. Our shoulders are all going to be quite different to one another, so that might be enough for you. You might feel that you can take it up a little bit higher. At the same time, you're just walking the fingers across and down your back as far as they can go, but without this feeling any significant pain. You're going to feel a bit of stretch tension in the back of your arm. You might even feel it into your trunk. If you want to feel it into the trunk a little bit more, have a go at taking a deep breath in and lifting, lengthening, lifting the rib cage out of your hip, and then relax down. We're going to do a double arm stretch when we do the full reach. So let's just swap over the other side and prepare that side. So lifting the elbow, ease it, tease it, don't force it or yank it into place. At the same time, your head is in a comfortable position in the middle there. Take a deep breath, a long deep breath in, And as you do that, grow, lift, extend. This is a position that we want to lie down in and support our head in. If we're lying on the grass, lying on the beach, or turning or lying down in bed. And get an extra lift there, bit of extra length in the trunk, and relax. We need trunk length as well as back of arm length for our reaching actions, getting in and out of jumpers, for example. Right, a double arm full reach. So feet are planted, shoulders are down, clasp your hands together. If you've got a particularly weak or stiffer arm, use your strongest arm to guide that. And then lift up. Here we go through the trunk. Here we go straightening through the elbows if you can. And there's an extra lift. So it looks like your head is the pea in the pod. Let's do that again. I'm going to look at myself now in the camera. Look, pea in the pod. Lift and lengthen. I think George mentioned yesterday when you do that, you actually close off your ear holes and you can't hear anything. Relax down. Right, we're going to do a standing calf stretch. If those of you who have been in standing want to stay in standing for this, feel free, if you normally be in seated, if you want to come into standing, have a go at this here. You tend to get a slightly different, I think, slightly better stretch. Here's my hands on the wall for support. Adjust your feet into a stride. Back leg is long and straight and the front knee is bending. It looks like I'm trying to push over the wall, but not being very successful. Here's your seated option. If you're on the front portion of your chair, that will enable you to get your leg out as straight as it can be. And from there, it's just toes being pulled back. So you've got your full flat of your foot facing ahead. And you should feel that in the belly, the chunky, bulky bit of the calf muscle, into the lower part of the calf and into and around the Achilles area. Have a change side. So these are about 15-20 seconds worth of hold time, with a repeat in there if you would like. Just to remind, the standing position, a good stride, back leg long and straight, front leg bent, but both feet, especially heels, are planted into the floor. Just looks like you're trying to push something over there. All right, rest and recover. If you want to come back into seated, if you've just done the standing stretch, have a sit down, control that lowering phase best you can, and then just readjust so that it's just your bottom on the edge of the seat. You're perched, you're poised. Let's back of thigh it now. So loose ankle here, different position to the ankle. Still a straight long leg, keep the knee as straight as you can without letting it pop up. Lift up tall first. Let's get the ribs up and away from the hips. That way our pelvic tilt changes slightly. It starts to lengthen the back of thigh muscles that crisscross around the hip. And when we lean forward, still lifting out, we should get a better stretch into the back of the legs. This knee shouldn't be uncomfortable. If it is, just loosen and just put a little bend into it. Otherwise, just keep it as straight as it can be and hold that stretch. Find your pause button and freeze. Saying we're freezing, when we're still taking long, deep breaths, take an extra press into it. Just be mindful not to hold your breath during these stretches, because sometimes if we're stretching for a long while, that lack of oxygen might affect you. Changing sides, loose ankle, loose knee, hands to support the top half of your body, lift and lengthen, sitting high onto your sit bones and easing yourself into this stretch. Now it's getting towards that time when we're going to be getting into the garden to do the a little bit of prepping. There's going to be a lot of bending, reaching down, maybe a bit of digging involved. Definitely reaching down to low levels is something that we do day in, day out, whether we're in the garden or just anywhere with ourselves. So this particular muscle group, to stretch and lengthen it, can make those tasks feel that little bit more comfortable. Relax, extra press, and then relax. And there we have your sway and stretch routine for this Thursday, the 10th of March. There we have you. All done, people. So the purple room is premiering, George. Yep. Where am I then? Has anybody answered? George has answered on the other message. I am in Middlesbrough. There you go. That's where I am, in the Purple Hotel. And you'll get the 12 noon tomorrow from the course. Have a great evening, everyone. Enjoy whatever you're getting up to. And if you can crowbar in anything else, you know it makes sense. Your body will love you for it. See you tomorrow.